Hello my fellow rulers, Zaript here, and today I want to talk about Crusader Kings II. You have probably heard about this wife killing simulator from Paradox Interactive. You have probably heard how fun, complex and rewarding it is, and how difficult it is to start with. Well, that's actually a misconception I want to deal with today. You know, after playing this game for 2 weeks and spending almost 60 hours in it, I felt like I have something to say about it. But before doing so, I just went around looking for reviews, tutorials and stuff that out there in the internet, and I felt like it's not how it's feel. I mean, really. Probably the two reviews that were almost spot on. I mean, not almost, it was spot on. Rock Paper Shotgun's review from Adam Smith. I mean, he really nailed it when he said that losing is fun if you do it with style in this game, and that is true. Second one is not a game review but a mod review. It's a Game of the Thrones announcement on Kotaku by Luke Plunkett, and this is what I was seeking for, and this is a marketing mistake Paradox Interactive done, in my opinion. They should have found right owners of Douglas Adams books and paid them any money to be able to use this on their cover. Here it is. And now with this, the whole point of this video achieved. It's done. It's done. That's what you want to know, and that's all you need to know to start playing this game. Well, the other thing you need to start playing is the game itself, of course. Or you can try out a demo. It's available on Steam. And I should stop right now because I said you that you shouldn't panic. But still, there is things I want to share. What I want to do is here is a sort of crash guide in learning Crusader Kings II, because game still requires some learning. You can just, of course, pick any and play. No problem with that. But at some point you would want to understand what's going behind the scenes, how this game actually works. How do I do things more effectively? I mean, that's natural for people and especially for strategy game lovers. And of course, there are tons of information on how to play in the internet. I mean, if you talk about YouTube tutorials, I would suggest Tech and CKM. I will link them in the description. It's two very nice starting tutorials. A couple of hours long each. It's a playlist, and but I don't suggest you to watch them before playing. No. Do it after you actually encountered some problems, because the best way to learn is to go in, try stuff, fail, and when you fail, you actually have a question to ask. How did I fail? Why did I fail? What I can do to not fail next time? And with that question, you can go and watch a YouTube tutorial, or you can go and Google, or you can go, for example, to Crusader Kings II wiki. There is a couple of them. I will link some in the description with quite comprehensive explanation of how stuff works. And the problem is, if you try to read it and watch it before the game, you just will forget it. It always happens. I mean, if you don't have a reason to remember something, if you don't have a direct reason, then you wouldn't remember. Well, that's a general learning tip, and other tip is starting a nation. I mean, you play as a dynasty, not as a nation, of course. You can pick any king you want, you can pick any duke you want, or maybe count, and you will play as his dynasty. You can expand and stuff, but what to pick? I mean, there is probably hundreds, I don't know, a lot of them, a lot, quite a lot. Most of tutorials would suggest you to start on the islands, and I agree. Despite the fact that you can play as a king, resist it. I mean, really. Of course you can, and I mean, the game itself shows that, whoa, king, how, like, 57% difficulty. Now, if I pick some sort of Irish duke, what? 70% difficulty? Why? In reality, playing as a Duke of Irish is much easier because you have less problems to deal with. You have basically, well, I mean, if you start as a King of French, you will notice that suddenly a lot of people want to kill you. A lot of factions wants to get your kingdom. I mean, you will feel a pressure from all the sides, and since you don't know the core mechanics of the game and how stuff works, you will have troubles dealing with it. But if you start here, well, my personal suggestions would be Duke of Munster or Duke of Murray. I played a lot as these two guys, and I can't always come back here to play as them again because it's just fun. This is sort of civilization serious feeling when you start as with one city and you build your empire by expanding around, and you control it from the very basement. You control everything you build. It's much easier than starting with a big empire, with a big kingdom that you don't know how it's operate. You don't know it. I mean, even if you know how to deal with the kingdom, it's still sort of difficult. Okay, now that we got this out of picture, other important reason to start as on our islands is that learning would be incremental. My absolute beginner suggestion would be Duke Muchat of Munster. Let's just start, and if you start like this small duke, you're not king, game will naturally help you ask right questions because you don't have a lot of them. You have very little stuff to do as a duke, and independent duke, which is important. Well, let's see. Well, rule unmarried heir, and pick an ambition. I mean, that's already stuff that you can Google. I mean, what is ambition? And very important stuff about this game, which I mean, I know I'm stupid, but see, it shows. It expands. I don't know why they hide it. Probably so that these tooltips will not fill the whole screen. If you put your mouse on something, it will expand. You see, on anything, and that's probably the most important tip I can give you. So, as starting as a Munster, you will very fast have a lot of simple questions. How do I marry? Okay, probably here. Yeah, arrange marriage. Oh man, who do I marry? Now you can go to the Crusader Kings wiki and read about who is the best party for you, how to choose someone to marry, how to choose someone to marry your heir, your son. And at this point, at this stage of the game, don't unpause, take your time, get familiar with interface. And by the way, as I probably told already, don't watch interface tutorials. It's complete waste of time. Never do it. That's something you should learn yourself, and when you learn it your way, you will do stuff meaningfully. And then suddenly looking how other people play on YouTube, for example, you will notice that they do something more effectively than you. And that you will remember and notice it because you already have your own way of doing stuff. So learn this yourself. That's my suggestion. Other questions you will have to ask as, well, if I want to expand, how do I go to war. Let's see. Oh, nice. I can declare a war. Whoa. De jure? What is de jure? Ah, whatever. Let's declare a war. Oops. Nice. And let's just skip it for a second. If I try to you will notice going around your neighbors that... Wait a second. Wait a second. Why can't... I mean, he's my neighbor. Why can't I go to war with it? Yeah. And see? Game explains you why you can't. It's probably the most important knowledge about the game. Read the tooltip and look at the red cross. Duke Machad of Münster must have a valid casus belli to declare war. Alt tab. Crusader Kings wiki. Casus belli. Now you know what it is and how to get it. And don't read the whole article, just a basic one. I mean, because you still will learn a lot of ways to do stuff, and probably I will do small tutorials, very small tutorials on how to do stuff more effectively. Other thing you will notice when going to war, if you, for example, let's just do it fast, declare a war, start a war, then, okay, military, probably know it or not. Okay, then, why can't I want my levies. Okay, I cannot. Let's go to war. And you will suddenly notice. Yeah, this is medieval Europe. Even if you win this battle, you will notice that... let's speed it up. Yeah, you can't even win it. I mean, look. You twice as big as him. And you still cannot win this war. That's a question. If I start as an Irish count, how the heck do I win such a war? And that will make a sense. You will go to YouTube and look for Irish playthrough, and you will not have to look for the whole Let's Play. You will only go to the part where you see that he tries to expand, and you will notice that before starting this war, he actually tries to get rid of his vassal. He tries to get both counties for himself. Then he tries to get his wealth to at least 1995, so he waits a bit, the player I mean. Then he goes to military, mercenaries, and here he go. He got this mercenary for 75 gold, which is 1,500 men strong. He attacks, destroys this army, disbands the mercenary, and then goes with his army and just siege. I mean, such a stuff, it's kinda... You can waste hours of watching others' Let's Plays, or you can try, fail, get a question, and go ask it. Simple as that. Now, let me show you what you can get. Let's resign, and I will show you what would it look like when you kinda get that Irish. Let's see, do I have a saved games? Yeah, island. I have an island. So, wait a second. Okay, that's exactly what happens. Basically, as King of Island, I got the whole island, and this is a save where I failed to keep it to myself. Look, they revolted, everything splitted, and now I have to war for... And that will happen a lot. You will guard them one by one. You will have... at some point you will lose a couple of them. And at some point you will get the whole kingdom, and you will get a new scale of problems. As a kingdom, you will notice that suddenly you will notice you cannot keep too many, you cannot control personally the whole all counties. You cannot personally control all duchies. You have to give them away. But when you give them away, people start to want more. They start to get powerful and they start to attack you. So at some point you will notice that let me go a bit again, that even so you are king, it's quite difficult to go out and sort of expand even more. Let's see, let me show you one of my after saves when I did decently with my Scotland. This what I got after like 40 hours of playing. I got a nice feeling, more or less. I got Scotland, I got most of the island, and in couple of years it's not difficult. I will get remaining stuff. How did I do that? Well, it was possible because I started first. I played as an Irish king, Irish duke. I failed a lot, but I learned how to expand and how to keep what I got, because I lost it so many times that I learned it the hard way. And I will link you to a very nice forum thread on how to keep your kingdom stable. It's just very important. It's DJ Cynic's thread, I believe. Don't read it from the beginning. I mean, before doing it, fail. I mean, really. If you fail once, you will get knowledge in much. How should I explain it? Well, you will understand it. If you just read it, a lot of things you will just forget immediately. A couple of things you will not understand. Learn it a hard way, guys. That's the fastest way to learn, really. And then, when you create two kingdoms, when you create a British Empire, well, that's your crash course, which took me 50 hours. But it was fun. I mean, it was so fun. Now I'm trying to finish with the British Isles, and I think maybe I would be ready to go for a very scary stuff. That's what I want. Byzantine Empire. Well, I also want to play some Muslim factions. For some reason, I'm not really interested in this Middle Europe. It's kinda... how should I explain it? It's... whatever. It's personal. It's personal. I just don't like this whole mess when you kinda have quite a lot of power initially and a lot of pressure from all the sides. I think I will try it and maybe even show you how I fail, but for me most interesting is Byzantine Empire and some of Muslim factions, but you need a DLC to play that. You need Sword of Islam to play this, and to play Byzantine Empire you need Legacy of Rome. Oh, by the way, one more very important tip. You really want Rome DLC, in my opinion. Of course, you can deal yourself easily, but let me show you. My last tip before going off, because I'm already talking too much. If you have Rome Legacy DLC, you get a very important option available to you as a king. You have a retinue button available, and this is something I didn't know, but it's very helpful. Basically, when you go to a war, you can only declare a war when you disband all your levies, and when you declare a war, you have to get all your levies up, right? And then you have, well, let's see. Well, when you get all your levies up, you basically get them up like that, and you have to select them to go somewhere. It takes time and gives your opponent a way to react. So there is other way to do it. You can keep well, persistent contingent, which is retinue. They will be alive for all the time. This wait. There. I mean, even in peaceful times, they still with you. And that's very important. Especially if you have a small prey to hunt, you can just start and crush him immediately without even raising the levies. Very useful stuff. Anyway, I don't want to take any more of your time because you have a game to play, guys. And if you have any questions, ask me. Not because I can answer them. No, I'm not that cool, but the thing is, if you have an interesting question, I want to hear it. Maybe I missed something. I will Google it with you, and well, we will learn it hard way together. See you guys. See you.